Have you ever found yourself sitting alone, feeling the quietness around you, and wishing you had someone to talk to or share a warm cup of tea with? It's completely natural to crave companionship, especially as we get older. As we age, the desire for connection only grows stronger, and the thought of inviting someone into our lives to share moments and experiences feels comforting. However, what if those very people you allow into your space could be unknowingly putting your peace of mind, trust, and emotional well-being at risk? In today's video, we'll uncover the 6 types of people you should be cautious about letting into your home, no matter how friendly they may seem at first glance. Why should you continue watching? Understanding these warning signs could save you from unnecessary stress, emotional turmoil, and even financial hardship. The people we trust and allow into our inner circle have the power to either uplift and nurture our lives or cause harm. Recognizing the red flags early can make all the difference in protecting your peace, trust, and emotional health as you navigate the later years of your life. By the end of this video, you'll not only be able to identify these dangerous personalities, but also learn practical steps on how to safeguard your personal space, maintain healthy relationships, and ensure that your life remains peaceful, fulfilling, and free from unnecessary drama. So, if you're ready to learn how to protect your heart, your home, and your peace of mind, stay with us till the very end. Before we dive in, if you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future content. Your support means the world to me, and if you find this video helpful, you can further support us by liking and sharing it with your loved ones. If you like the topic of today's video, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, feel free to leave a 0 so I can improve and create better videos that truly serve your needs. Let's get started. The first type is people who talk about others' secrets. As we grow older, one of the most precious things we must protect is the trust in our relationships. Trust is the cornerstone of meaningful connections with others, and as we age, it becomes even more vital to carefully consider who we allow into our lives. Sadly, not everyone we meet or welcome back into our circle has good intentions, and some people will only bring harm. One type of person you must be particularly cautious of is the one who talks about others' secrets. When we're young, we often don't realize how dangerous gossip can be. But as we mature, we come to understand the weight that gossip carries. Not just for those who are the subject of it, but for those who indulge in it. These individuals can be incredibly charming and disarming, making you feel comfortable and trusted, almost as though they are confiding in you as a close friend. But the reality is far from that. Beneath that friendly exterior lies a person who has no qualms about betraying someone's trust for the sake of casual conversation. It might start innocently enough, a passing comment about a neighbor or a mutual acquaintance, but soon, you'll notice that they're sharing more intimate, more personal details about people's lives. What they don't realize, or perhaps don't care to realize, is that this isn't just harmless chatter. Every time they speak ill of someone else, whether intentionally or not, they are revealing their true nature. It may seem like they're just trying to form a deeper connection with you, but in reality, they're showing you exactly what they're capable of. This kind of behavior is not just inconsiderate, it's dangerous. It's a violation of privacy, and it can break the bonds of trust that you've worked so hard to build. We've all heard the phrase, "What's said in confidence stays in confidence." And yet, these people will often preface their gossip with phrases like, "This is just between us," or "You can trust me, I won't tell anyone else." These words should immediately send a red flag up in your mind. It's never a good sign when someone feels the need to make such promises. If they're so quick to break someone else's trust, can you believe that your secrets will be safe with them? The truth is, they won't. If they're willing to talk about others in such a manner, your privacy is no more sacred than anyone else's. Think about how this behavior affects not just the individuals being gossiped about, but the community as a whole. Trust is a fragile thing. Once it's broken, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. Gossipers may think they're just making conversation, but the consequences of their words can echo far beyond their immediate circle. They slowly erode the trust between people, creating a culture of suspicion and fear, where no one feels safe to share openly. The more you entertain these people, the more you become part of that toxic cycle. Every time you stay silent or listen without objecting, you're giving them permission to keep betraying others' confidences, and perhaps even yours, too. So, what do you do when you encounter someone who constantly talks about others' private lives? You have to set boundaries. It's okay to feel uncomfortable when you have to interrupt someone, but it's necessary. You don't owe them your time or your energy if their words betray others. Protect your dignity, and protect the dignity of those around you. Relationships should be built on a foundation of respect, and if someone cannot honor the privacy of others, there is no way they will honor yours. Remember, we deserve relationships that are grounded in honesty, understanding, and trust. People who can keep secrets, who can hold your confidence with care, are the ones who will honor your privacy when you need it most. These are the relationships worth nurturing. In a world where so much can feel uncertain, there is peace to be found in cultivating bonds with those who respect your boundaries and the boundaries of others. This is how we build a fulfilling, peaceful life, by surrounding ourselves with people who understand the profound importance of keeping trust sacred. The second type is those who don't respect personal boundaries. As we journey through life and grow older, one of the most precious gifts we can give ourselves is the space to just be. Both physical and emotional space become not just preferences, but absolute necessities. Our sense of peace, the quiet joy we find in our own company, and the ability to recharge without interference are all tied to how well we can protect our boundaries. And yet, one of the most draining and painful types of people we encounter are those who, knowingly or unknowingly, disrespect our boundaries. People who believe their comfort should take precedence over our need for space. It's essential to recognize these behaviors early so we can take steps to preserve our emotional well-being. Imagine for a moment that you've invited someone into your home, a place that should feel like your sanctuary, your haven. But instead of feeling at ease, you begin to feel like you're under constant observation. You notice them casually glancing at your bookshelves, snooping through your drawers, or asking about personal items you'd rather not discuss. At first, you might brush it off. Maybe it's just curiosity, maybe they don't mean any harm, but when you stop to think about it, it's a blatant violation of your privacy. These small, seemingly innocent actions are the beginning of a pattern that you need to recognize and address. When someone crosses those lines, whether it's asking about your finances, your clothes, or how much something costs, it's not just an innocent question. It's a breach of your privacy, a subtle but clear message that they believe they have the right to intrude on your life. And that's simply not okay. Your personal space, your financial choices, your emotional landscape, they are yours and yours alone. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Even in close relationships, it's crucial to maintain respect for each other's boundaries. Unfortunately, not everyone understands this. There are those who, rather than respecting your physical and emotional space, will push you to talk about things you're not ready to discuss, like your personal struggles, your relationships, or your financial situation. They might even feel entitled to offer unsolicited advice, telling you how to fix your problems, how to live your life, or what you should be doing differently, without ever considering your feelings or point of view. This is an exhausting experience. It erodes your sense of self-worth, making you feel as though your opinions, your life choices, and your very identity are not valued. Picture yourself in this scenario. You've shared a passion with someone. Perhaps you love gardening, painting, or writing, and instead of offering support or appreciation, they dismiss your hobby with a comment like, "You should be doing something more important with your time." Or perhaps you've had a minor disagreement with someone, and they go as far as to tell you that it's all your fault, diminishing your feelings and making you feel like you're in the wrong. It may seem trivial, but these moments chip away at your spirit. They invalidate your experiences and make you question your worth. They tell you, in essence, that your life doesn't matter the way it is, that it needs to fit into someone else's mold. It's heartbreaking, and over time, it can leave you feeling drained, frustrated, and unsupported. Your home, your sanctuary, your life, they should all be places where you can find rest, renewal, and peace. But when we allow people into our lives who don't respect our boundaries, we open the door to emotional exhaustion. We're constantly on guard, constantly justifying ourselves, giving away pieces of our energy and peace. That's not how life should be. The pressure to entertain, to prove ourselves, to accommodate others at the expense of our emotional health, it's overwhelming. And it's unfair. Setting boundaries is not a sign of selfishness. On the contrary, it's one of the most loving things you can do for yourself and those around you. It's a necessary step in protecting your mental and emotional well-being, especially as we age. Prioritizing your comfort is not something to feel guilty about. It's an act of self-respect, an affirmation that you deserve peace, calm, and joy. So, don't be afraid to distance yourself from people who disrespect your space, whether it's physical or emotional. It doesn't make you rude or unkind. It makes you someone who values their peace and their well-being. It's one of the most important ways to protect your happiness and preserve your inner harmony as you move through life. Those who truly care for you will understand and respect your boundaries, and together, you can build a life that feels whole, peaceful, and fulfilling. Your peace is sacred, and you are more than worthy of guarding it fiercely. The third type is superficial relatives. Family is supposed to be a sanctuary of love, trust, and unwavering support, especially as we navigate the complexities of aging. However, there is a stark reality that not every relative embodies these qualities, and sadly, some of them only reach out when there's something to gain. This kind of family member can be a toxic presence in our lives, showing up only when discussions about inheritance or property arise, or when they need something from you. Whether it be money, favors, or assistance with something that directly benefits them. These relatives often go silent for long periods, sometimes for months or even years, only to reappear when they sense an opportunity to benefit from you. It is crucial to recognize the warning signs early before they have the chance to take advantage of your goodwill. While helping family is important and can be an act of love, it becomes a deeply unsettling experience when someone absent from your life suddenly emerges, and their primary concern seems to be what they can extract from you. These relatives tend to target those who are older, or who might be in a more comfortable financial situation. They may try to disguise their true intentions with phrases like, "Since you're doing so well, helping out should be easy for you," or "It's your duty as a family to assist." But don't be fooled, these words aren't an expression of care, they're a subtle form of manipulation. Let's take a moment to reflect on this. If the only time you hear from a relative is when they need something, can you truly call that a meaningful, authentic relationship? If they genuinely cared about you, wouldn't they have stayed in regular contact with you, shared in your life's highs and lows, and supported you during challenging moments? The answer, unfortunately, is no. These relatives aren't interested in building a connection with you. They're merely seeking an opportunity to benefit from you. It's heartbreaking when you realize this, especially when you've extended kindness, care, and generosity toward them for years. Financial concerns involving aging relatives are an ever-growing issue, and sadly, some people take advantage of this. Whether they are asking for money directly or pressuring you into co-signing a loan, it's essential to stop and carefully consider the situation before taking action. Family ties create a natural sense of obligation, and it's all too easy to feel like you have to say yes, but it's important to recognize when that feeling of obligation is being manipulated. Don't be afraid to pause and evaluate whether you're truly helping or if you're being used. Family relationships should be built on a foundation of mutual respect, care, and understanding. It is not only appropriate but also necessary to establish firm boundaries with relatives who only reach out when they need something from you. It's okay to distance yourself from these individuals, especially if their motives aren't rooted in genuine concern for your well-being. This is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of self-preservation. By protecting yourself from exploitation, you're also protecting the integrity of your relationships with those who truly care. Family should be a haven, a space where you feel nurtured and supported, not a place where you're constantly being drained without receiving the same in return. Setting boundaries with superficial relatives is undoubtedly difficult, especially when there is a long history of shared moments, but it is a vital step in safeguarding your own peace and mental health. By doing so, you make room for authentic relationships that are based on love, respect, and shared experiences, rather than transactional exchanges. Life is too short to be caught up in relationships that only serve one side, especially when it comes at the cost of your emotional well-being. You deserve better than that, and by asserting boundaries, you're honoring yourself and the true spirit of family. The fourth type is one-sided talkers. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation where you're standing there, trying to contribute or express your thoughts, but it feels like your voice is lost in the wind? You're merely a passive listener, with no real chance to speak your truth. This kind of conversation can quickly become exhausting, leaving you feeling invisible and unheard. The one-sided talker isn't just someone who loves to talk, they're someone who demands the floor entirely, often without even realizing how much space they're taking up. These people don't give you room to express your feelings or share your thoughts, as the spotlight remains firmly on them, regardless of what you may be going through. Yes, it's natural for people to talk about their experiences and share stories about their lives. But there comes a point when the exchange shifts from mutual communication to a constant stream of self-centered talk. Take, for example, the time you try to open up about something personal, something that's bothering you, like your back pain. You share the discomfort you've been living with, hoping for a moment of understanding or perhaps some advice that might ease your frustration. Instead, the person you're talking to doesn't acknowledge your struggle at all. Instead, they immediately jump in with their health issues. How their back pain is much worse, how they've been dealing with a myriad of complications. Suddenly, your own experience, your own need to be heard, vanishes into thin air. Your pain is brushed aside, and the conversation shifts so swiftly that you feel like you're drowning in a sea of someone else's needs. You're left feeling unheard, unimportant, and emotionally drained. But what's even more infuriating is that sometimes these individuals have no idea they're doing it. They don't sense your discomfort. They don't hear your silent pleas to be heard. They may talk over you, interrupt you, or even fail to notice when you're trying to speak. It's as if your voice is a distant echo, fading into the background of their relentless monologue. The longer it goes on, the more you may feel like you're trapped in an emotionally exhausting loop, where your presence seems to have little value. This kind of emotional neglect can be utterly overwhelming, leaving you feeling emotionally worn out and questioning whether your thoughts and feelings even matter. What's especially hurtful is that these interactions aren't just an occasional inconvenience. They can become a persistent source of stress. As we grow older, our time and energy become so much more precious. We begin to recognize that our emotional and mental well-being are fragile, and spending even a minute of that precious time in an interaction that doesn't honor our presence can feel like a waste. The toll it takes on our emotional health is real, and the longer you endure it, the more it can chip away at your sense of self-worth. That's why it's so important to know when to step away, to protect your peace. You don't have to be rude, but you do have to set boundaries, and in the process, you protect your emotional energy. You are allowed to prioritize your well-being over someone else's need to dominate the conversation. There's nothing wrong with politely steering the conversation back to a place of balance, where both parties can share equally, or even, if needed, gracefully excusing yourself when the situation becomes emotionally overwhelming. Let's be clear. Your emotional health is just as crucial as your physical health. If you find yourself caught in a one-sided conversation that drains you, it's okay to step away. It's an act of self-care. By doing so, you're not being selfish. You're protecting the most important resource you have, your peace of mind. And trust me, it's worth it. Your time, your emotions, and your well-being are precious. You deserve to be heard, and you deserve to be valued in any interaction. The fifth type is those who impose their values on you. As we grow older, we naturally evolve and create a personal framework for living, one that reflects our unique experiences, perspectives, and beliefs. The values we hold dear are shaped by the winding paths we've walked, the joys and struggles we've faced, and the lessons we've learned along the way. It's a beautiful part of the aging process, becoming more comfortable in our skin, embracing what truly matters to us, and allowing ourselves the grace to live authentically. However, some seem unable, or unwilling, to understand that the way they live is just one of many valid choices. These individuals feel compelled to impose their values onto others, often with a sense of superiority and certainty that their way is the only right way. They dismiss the notion that each of us is on a different journey, with unique needs, circumstances, and priorities. This is where the real frustration begins. Imagine you're someone who deeply values rest. Perhaps you love taking your time in the morning, allowing yourself to wake up slowly and savor the quiet of the day. It's how you recharge, how you center yourself for the challenges ahead. But then someone comes along, brimming with confidence, and tells you that waking up at the crack of dawn is the key to success. They might even go as far as to call your laid-back approach lazy or irresponsible, without a shred of consideration for why you choose to live this way. It's jarring. It makes you question yourself when, in reality, your habits are rooted in personal needs, not laziness or complacency. Or perhaps you're someone who doesn't feel the need to exercise daily, preferring a gentler pace, only to face harsh criticism about your lifestyle. You're told that you're neglecting your health, that your choices are somehow inferior. These people forget, no, they refuse to acknowledge, that our lives are not one size fits all. Just because they've found success or happiness through a certain set of actions doesn't mean their method is universally applicable. We all have different bodies, different needs, different schedules. This kind of imposition isn't just annoying. It can be emotionally draining. It undermines your sense of self-worth, making you feel like your life choices don't matter. That the way you've chosen to live, with all the nuances that make it yours, is somehow wrong. This can create deep resentment. Instead of fostering understanding and growth, it can tear down your confidence and fuel unnecessary conflict. And that's the real danger, the erosion of relationships. When people push their values on you, it's not just their opinions that are the issue. It's the blatant disrespect for your individuality. The emotional toll of constantly being told that your choices are wrong or inadequate can be incredibly damaging. But here's the truth. You have every right to choose your path. You have every right to live in a way that supports your well-being, your happiness, and your peace of mind. We all have the right to make our own choices without the constant pressure of being told we're doing it wrong. Our experiences are unique, and therefore, our needs and desires are unique. When someone insists on imposing their views on you, it's essential to stand your ground. You don't need to accept their version of success, happiness, or health to keep the peace. It's okay to draw boundaries, to say, "This is how I live, and it works for me." You don't need to justify your choices to anyone. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. We should celebrate the diversity of lifestyles and beliefs, not try to mold everyone into one narrow vision of what life should look like. Life is too precious to be lived according to someone else's standards. Embrace your individuality. Protect it fiercely. If someone's constant criticism or demands are eating away at your joy, it's okay to distance yourself. Your peace and self-respect are far more important than conforming to someone else's expectations. You have the right to live life on your terms, unapologetically. So, hold your head high and walk your path, because it's your journey, and no one else's. Don't let anyone dull your sparkle or diminish your sense of self. Embrace the beauty of living authentically and allow others the same freedom. The sixth and final type is people who cause financial trouble. As we grow older, one of the most precious things we possess is our financial security. It represents the years of hard work, the sacrifices made, and the peace of mind we've earned. However, as much as we try to protect it, some people see older adults as easy targets. Individuals who view our wealth, no matter how modest, as something they can exploit. These people often appear charming at first, appearing friendly and harmless, engaging in casual conversations designed to build trust. They slowly worm their way into your life, feigning concern or friendship. They'll tell you things that make you feel like you're being valued and appreciated. But beneath all this, their motives are darker. As the relationship deepens, the requests begin, small at first, but soon escalating to demands for money, for loans, for help. They claim to be in dire straits, appealing to your compassion. I know how easy it is to feel moved by someone who seems to be struggling. It's human nature to want to help, especially when we've lived a life full of giving. But when it comes to money, things become incredibly tricky. It's not just the financial strain that such situations can cause, but also the emotional toll. You might find yourself questioning your judgment, feeling embarrassed or resentful when the money isn't returned, or worse when the relationship sours. It's heart-wrenching to realize that someone you trusted took advantage of your kindness. What began as an innocent, well-intentioned gesture can quickly spiral into a situation where you're left feeling emotionally drained and financially vulnerable. One of the most insidious tactics these individuals use is offering too good to be true investment opportunities. How often have you heard promises of life-changing returns or been told, "This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and I'm only sharing it with you because I trust you"? When something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. These individuals will make you feel like you're part of an exclusive circle, trying to convince you that this is your golden moment. They use flattery and urgency, "You've got to act now, or the opportunity will be gone," to cloud your judgment and push you into deciding without fully understanding what you're getting into. It's easy to get swept up in their words, to feel like you'd be a fool to pass up such an offer, but that's exactly what they want. They're counting on you feeling flattered and pressured into taking action. But don't be fooled by the glossy sales pitch. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. When it comes to your hard-earned money, always err on the side of caution. If you feel uncomfortable or uncertain, take a step back. There's no rush to make decisions, and no one should pressure you into doing something that doesn't sit right with you. Your financial health is invaluable. It's what ensures your independence, your peace of mind, and your ability to live comfortably in your later years. If someone is asking for money or enticing you with an investment opportunity, don't hesitate to do your due diligence. Talk to trusted family members, friends, or even a financial advisor. Take the time to research the situation thoroughly before you make any commitments. It's always better to say no than to find yourself in a position where you regret your decision later. The peace of mind you'll have by protecting your finances is worth far more than any temporary gain someone may promise you. In your golden years, it's especially crucial to surround yourself with individuals who respect your boundaries. People who care about your well-being, not just your wallet. True friends and family won't pressure you for money, and they certainly won't try to manipulate you into risky financial decisions. They'll stand by you, not only when things are good, but especially when they aren't. So trust yourself. Stay vigilant. Your financial security is priceless, and it's up to you to protect it. Don't let anyone, no matter how convincing they may seem, take what you've worked so hard to build. As we wrap up today's discussion, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered. We've talked about how important it is to protect not only our emotional well-being but also our financial health as we age. From recognizing the signs of people who might try to exploit our kindness, to being vigilant about those too good to be true investment opportunities, we've explored the steps you can take to safeguard both your heart and your wallet. So, what have you learned today? Is there something new that you'll be more mindful of moving forward? I'd love to hear from you. Please share one thing you've learned and we'll start practicing in your life below this video. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Stay safe, stay wise, and always trust your instincts when it comes to protecting what matters most. Thank you for watching.